Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another edition of Litter Media Live on Facebook. I'm Mike Smith, along with Aaron Glandon. Dan Ramey has the week off. I've had a lot of people say, hey, good to see you back on Facebook. And we were explaining that a couple of days ago. That was not something we did by choice. It was by necessity because of a technical glitch.
Yeah. Facebook kicked us off.
So we didn't do anything wrong. It was just I don't know what it was, a bug or something that we had to fix.
Dan figured it out somehow.
He's amazing.
Yeah.
Isn't he amazing?
Yeah.
Isn't he brilliant?
Yep.
He's a genius. Now, if he were here, I would never say those. But if he's watching in, he's getting the message. We love you, Dan. Enjoy your time away. Let's look at the weather. It sprinkled on me a little bit coming in this morning, but looks like that the better chance of rain will probably be mid-afternoon today. And I think as we were looking just before we came on the air, there's a chance of rain each day through a week from Friday.
It's a lot of rain.
That's a lot of rain. So hopefully it's just the pop-up variety that we often see in the state of Ohio during this time of year. Hopefully it's not anything onset, like, God forbid, some of our friends in Texas, or I even saw this morning New Mexico had some drastic and flash flooding that took some lives. So we'll talk a little bit more about that here in our topics in just a little bit, on ways that maybe you can help some of those who are struggling through those disasters. All that is coming ahead here on Litter Media Live. Another visit from Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing to the Smith residence. We were telling you about this last week. We got our generator, I don't know, I think we had it installed by Accurate about 8 or 9 years ago. Well, the battery finally went bad on it, and the technician came and said, well, this is what we're going to have to order for you. So he's supposed to come back this afternoon and put that in, and knock on wood, that's going to fix the problem.
Let's hope.
But that's the neat thing. We talk so much about heating, cooling, and plumbing, but Accurate also installs Generac generators, and they maintenance those as well. If you have a need for any one of these categories, or maybe you want a generator for your home, give Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing a call.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Whenever I first applied for the ArchWiz opportunity, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Mike and Aaron back with you here on Litter Media Live as we usually start out, we want to remind you to bookmark us on your laptop, on your desktop computer, maybe even on your smartphone, littermedia.com, for beneficial news that you can use. Touched on this just briefly just a moment ago, the disaster that's happened with that flash flooding down in Texas. And we hadn't mentioned it up until this point. I've been seeing a lot of pleas for donations through different networks, but I wanted to make sure we got something for the American Red Cross, and I finally found their link in their ad. And disaster relief and recovery, and there's a link on the American Red Cross site where you can donate money. And typically in years past, of course, there's a lot of different projects that the Red Cross are involved in as far as disaster recovery, but it was always the case in the past that if you wanted your money to go for a particular project that they were working on for disaster relief, you could do that. So if that's where you want your money to go, I think there is a specific link for the Texas Hill Country floods. But overall, you get there from redcross.org/donate to help those folks in Texas. A little bit of a disaster in its own right yesterday over in Vinton County. The historic McArthur Hotel on East Main Street in McArthur suffered heavy damage in a fire. This was just before noon yesterday. The cause of the fire and the amount of damage done is not yet known. Now, this photo came to us from the Vinton Jackson Courier, and you might remember that we had a news story, I don't know, about a year and a half ago on littermedia.com that talked about they had received a big grant. It was something like $2 million to renovate the old McArthur Hotel and turn it into kind of like an economic development hub with shops and things of that nature. So in light of this fire yesterday, which fortunately no one was injured, again, they're still trying to assess how much damage. They don't know where that project will be now.
Yeah.
So just kind of a shame that things like that happen sometimes. But keep your eye on that. If we get any further developments on that, we will let you know.
Yeah. Tomlinson Insurance and Kingston National Bank are among the lead sponsors for a mill closure workshop today from 5 to 7 p.m. at Creekside Occasions. You can call now to RSVP for this free dinner event. And if you want to do that, the phone number is not on this poster.
But there's a QR code.
There is a QR code.
I would guess, since this event is tonight, you probably need to get on that right now.
Yes.
And because even though the meal is free, they need to know how many people are coming. So.
Oh, I see the phone number. 740-773-3331, I think is what it says. It's small and far away.
And again, Tomlinson Insurance and Kingston National Bank, two of our great sponsors, are among those who are behind this workshop tonight.
An informational postcard is now available to help Washington courthouse residents and employees understand the details of the proposed income tax levy ahead of the August 5th election. The 0.2% municipal income tax proposal will fund street paving, parks, and trails. This tax does not increase the current rate. If approved by voters, the rate will remain at 1.95%. The tax would only apply to earned and rental income. Social Security and retirement income are not taxed.
And more details on our website story. All the Things founder Andrew Baker was our special edition guest yesterday, where he talked about their community assistance group and an upcoming August 16th recovery promotion event in Yoctangi Park.
So how it came about, I went into treatment 4 years ago, and they beat into your head that you have to change all the things. You have to do all the things that got you and keep you sober. And then a few of us started a little group to stay connected for when we got out of treatment. And throughout time, it grew legs. Mainly what we try to do is get back to the community. There's people in our group that have been through addiction, have been through homelessness, and haven't too. People that have experienced it on the other end, that parents or family members. Our biggest goal is to just try to stay connected to each other, help one another out. And we also want to get back to the community because a lot of us weren't good for the community for a long time. So it's our way of giving back.
Andrew, I call him Andrew, but his close friends call him Andy, which I do consider myself one of them. This guy is one of those fellows that would give the shirt off his back. And he's been through hard times, and the Lord's got him in good times right now and doing a lot for the community. He and his wife, Kelly, were from Columbus originally. They made Chillicothe their home after they came through the recovery program that they were in, and they are stand-up folks. So they've done a lot of things in the community over the last few years with the name All the Things. They team up with different churches, different organizations throughout the community, trying to work for one purpose, and that is to help those in our community who are in need.
Yeah. The Lyceum Luncheon Brown Bag Speaker Series presents a program on Eudora Welty and her Appalachian roots by Jack Wright on Thursday, July 17th at noon at the Southeast Ohio History Center. A WPA photographer and Pulitzer Prize-winning author from Jackson, Mississippi, Eudora Welty has roots and connections in Southeast Ohio that she felt made all the difference in the success of her long career.
And Eudora was also a winner of the Presidential Medal of Freedom. That's the highest civilian honor that's available to a United States citizen. You got to ask your mom if she knows about her, if she was from Jackson, Mississippi originally.
Because Jackson's not far from Meridian, where my mom
This is the Jackson that Johnny Cash was singing about.
Yes.
Going back to Jackson. Not Jackson, Ohio, for those of you who are disappointed with that. Our road report deals with something that will impact the outdoor drama Tecumseh tonight. Delano Road is closed between State Route 159 at the railroad tracks. So you need to find an alternate route using Delano Road from Witt's Frozen Custard, just off North Bridge and 159 there, if you plan on going to the outdoor drama Tecumseh tonight. And to the best of our knowledge, that will affect that route only tonight. So just to give you a heads up if you're going out to Sugarloaf Mountain Amphitheater. When we come back, we'll talk about sports, kind of a split decision for our Major League Baseball teams last night, all ahead on Litter Media Live. Scioto Valley Dumpsters, that's the Orange Barrel, folks. 253-8389 for a free quote. Ross and surrounding counties for any cleanup project that you have around Ross County and in Ross County. Give them a call, Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Now that's one fast mower. Take command of your lawn with Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Pain was interfering with Tiffany's active lifestyle. Same-day hip replacement at the Adina Orthopedic and Spine Institute got her back to the community she calls home. At Adina, we do what we love, so you can too.
Talking about sports. And new rules for high school baseball. Beginning with the 2027 season, a double first base will be required in high school baseball games to minimize the risk of collisions by runners and fielders. This rule revision was one of 10 proposed by the NFHS Baseball Rules Committee during its annual meeting held June 8th through the 10th at the Alexander Hotel in Indianapolis.
Now, for those of you who watch softball in Ohio, high school softball, you've already seen this. Half of the white part of first base, this double base, is in fair territory. And then they have like a red-colored base right beside it, but it's in foul territory. And the base runner or the batter running to first has to hit the red bag while the fielder is trying to tag with her foot the white bag. And again, the reason for this is because they were colliding.
Yeah.
So while that's been around for a while in softball, they're going to add it to high school baseball in the next couple of years. So it's all in the name of safety. I don't know what you can say about the Reds other than inconsistency, but they went ahead 1-0 last night, and then they got beat 12-2. This was game 2 of a 4-game series with the Marlins. Game 3 is tonight. So if they just want to split this series, the Reds have got to win tonight and tomorrow. The Guardians, who had lost 10 straight, have now won 2 straight. They beat the Astros down in Houston last night by a score of 10-6. And staying with baseball, did I not predict this?
I think you did. I think you did predict this.
Reds pitcher Andrew Abbott has been named to the National League All-Star team due to his pitching prowess in the first half of the season. So he joins Ellie De La Cruz as the only members of the Reds to be on the National League team for the All-Star Classic. And if you didn't catch it earlier in the week, the Paints are on their Prospect League All-Star break. That game will be at Springfield. I believe that's, is that tomorrow?
Don't ask me.
I have to look that up. But they're playing, it'd have to be because they're back in Chillicothe they're playing in Chillicothe tomorrow, I think, the 10th. If that's the case, then they'd had to have played last night or tonight. But obviously, I dropped the ball completely on that. But that's why you haven't been getting any Paints updates most of this week, because they're on the Prospect League All-Star break. We're going to keep it sports for this date in history when we come back, looking at the year 1877.
But first, we want to tell you about Litter Quality Propane. 92 years of serving propane users in southern and central Ohio. Reliable supply, reliable service, reliable people.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
Going on right now, while supplies last, is Hometown Motors Incorporated Summer Sales Event. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99. New zero-turn mowers starting at $3399.99. New walk-behinds starting at $399.99. Chainsaws starting at $279.99. Blowers at $199.99. And trimmers at $229.99. Hurry in to get the best selection, because with prices like this, they're not going to last much longer. Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors at 818 Eastern Avenue, Chillicothe.
Well, this is why we didn't hear anything about the Prospect League All-Star game. It got rained out last night.
Huh.
And I don't think that's going to be made up. Let's see here. Rained out. Last night was Tuesday. Rained out. And let's see here. I'm pretty sure there's no way they're going to make that game up. Yeah, doesn't say. So there you go. Prospect League game, All-Star game rained out in Springfield last night. This date in history, we're staying with sports. Tennis. The All England Croquet and Lawn Tennis Club begins its first lawn tennis tournament at Wimbledon, then an outer suburb of London. 22 amateur tennis players showed up to compete in the gentlemen's singles tournament, which was the only event at the first Wimbledon. No women allowed back in those days. And that is Aaron's rendition of their logo.
Their original logo.
From 1877. So there you go. Of course, now they've got an indoor court. Women have been playing for quite a few years, but they're still playing on grass.
Yes.
Natural grass. Wimbledon started this date as far as their tennis tournament in 1877. Let's see here. We had another special edition this morning. That was about the Huntington Youth Football Camp that's coming up July the 18th and 19th. Cardale Jones of the Ohio State national champion football team in 2014. Remember, he was the third-string quarterback that led him to the national title. He's going to be there at that camp on the 18th. And this camp, which is still taking registrations, and it's open to all kids in the area, K through 6th grade. You don't have to be just from Huntington. It's open to all the schools, and it's only like $20. You can't beat that. So you can go to their social media sites or their website, their Huntington High School football page, to get more information. No special edition tomorrow morning. We do have one scheduled for 10 o'clock on Friday morning. But tomorrow in our regular show at 11 o'clock, we have the Petland Pet of the Week.
Yes.
And the Neil Coleman Wyandotte Insurance Player of the Week. That returns on Friday. We were off last week because of July 4th. Any final words, Batman?
We're getting close to the weekend, so it's hump day today.
That's correct. Hump day. Wednesday.
So make it through the end of this week and enjoy your weekend after that.
Very good. And stay dry out there.
Yes.
From all of us at Litter Media, for Aaron Glandon, this is Mike Smith saying, have a great day, everyone. Ta-ta.